Alright, round 3 of the Monster Hunter Wilds versus some of the older monsters. Today we have Uth Duna versus Nargacuga. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and let's begin. Starting off with Nargacuga, easily an apex in his own tier, being found in not only the Great Forest, ancient forests, swamps, and jungles, but also even in the Coral Highlands. A very, interesting choice for its playing, but I guess it does make sense. But Nargacuga has a very impressive track record, being able to compete and even fight off against the likes of predators like Anjanath, Fulgur Anjanath, Rathalos, Rathian, Tiger Rex, and even the likes of Midzutune and Zinogre, and even being able to hold its own against a Duranvaros and successfully escape. Even the likes of Espinas, Nargacuga is able to hold its own and eventually get away from it. Because again, both of the monsters I just named are very high tier when it comes to like the food chain or the power chain when it comes to Monster Hunter. They're apexes that can literally butcher and kill other apexes, with Espinas obviously being an Elder Dragon level monster. So yeah, Nargacuga is not even close to its level, but at least it's able to hold its own and get away from it. So it's able to put up a decent fight and just kind of run out of there, you know? And Nargacuga is actually one of the more agile and faster monsters as well, being able to keep up with the likes of Odogaron and Ebony Odogaron respectively, and even being able to manhandle them when they're able to be caught. They're also known as the Blitzing Shadow, being able to literally, well, increase its adrenaline and even move so fast that it appears like a blur even to monsters that can even perceive light at times. So yeah, Nargacuga is able to actually pump up its adrenaline to the point where it's able to move in quick bursts in rapid succession. Now let's move on to Uth Duna, a Leviathan, the newest member of the Leviathan family. Now Uth Duna's track record is actually pretty good so far, other than the likes of Arkveld, which we already know is likely an Elder Dragon level monster because the absurd amounts of Elder Dragon level energy, plus it is able to get the upper hand on Gorm Magala, so it's just, it is what it is. But Uth Duna is an apex, the apex of the Scarlet Forest, meaning it's able to supplant and even prey upon any of the creatures that reside in. Right now, we don't know how it would do against Legiocris, which is a very powerful apex in its own right that also inhabits things like swamps, jungles, and stuff like that. And even the likes of Nargacuga may have also encountered likely younger or juvenile Legiocris's. But again, it does have access to be able to prey upon and overpower the likes of Lala Barina, Congolalas, and even the likes of Dashaguma, even being able to compete and overpower the likes of Rathalos and Rathian as well. So obviously some connections, right? Then we also have the fact that Uth Duna's abilities do revolve around water. And it's not surprising considering most Leviathans do revolve around some type of liquid. Even magma-like substances even count. But Uth Duna is actually able to absorb water into the pores of its skin and actually create this hoodie. Now again, this is a mere extension of it, but this hoodie is likely used for mating displays, or at least, you know, some type of intimidation, or some type of, you know, I guess you could say mating display as well, where males likely use the coloration to attract females. Now, Uth Duna is actually a very powerful monster as well, being able to leap into the air, meaning it could push up its own body weight and even belly flop on top of its opponents. It even utilizes this in combat where it's able to get a hold of a monster, literally jump in the air and power slam it into the ground. So yeah, Uth Duna is pretty powerful. But who wins in this titanic matchup? Let's set the scene. It's nighttime in the Scarlet Forest, and it's raining. Uth Duna decides it's hungry. It's hungry for some Congalala booty tonight. And at the same time, Nargacuga is out and about, also wanting to find some kind of prey item. Considering the fact that Nargacuga in the old world actually did prey on Congalala and was one of its few predators, I would definitely say that it would also go for the likes of Congalala as well. Now, unfortunately for Congalala, somebody's taking those cheeks unconsensually, of course. So, who wins when it comes down to it? Uth Duna versus Nargacuga. Let's begin. Now, when it comes to the physicals of these two, I don't think anyone's really going to disagree if I said Uth Duna is definitely the more durable, the stronger and definitely has the better hacks of the two. While Nargacuga is definitely more agile, he's quicker, and has decent range abilities. Okay? So if we really look at these two, one of the most common interactions that they have is definitely Rathalos. Now, when it comes to turf wars, we know how this goes with Nargacuga. Now, Rathalos comes in, grabs the flying wyvern by its back, and actually lifts it around, slams it a couple times before ultimately, dropping it on the ground. And then it comes in for its talons to sink into it, but the flying wyvern moves out the way, tackles Nargacuga onto the ground, and bites at its neck and wings, but Rathalos manages to kick the flying wyvern off, meaning that both Nargacuga and Tigrex, who share the same turf war, have this interaction with Rathalos. Meanwhile, with Uth Duna, this man is a tank. I mean, he ate fireball after fireball after fireball, and Rathalos kept on coming until Rathalos, utilizing close range, mind you, gets intercepted the moment it gets close and slammed into ground, only pushing Uth Duna off because of its poison talons. So, believe it or not, Uth Duna actually has a better counter to Nargacuga, that being its size and its own leaping capabilities, because again, when it comes to experience, Nargacuga doesn't really fight that many Leviathans. And believe it or not, the only Leviathan it really fought is Mizutsune, a much more agile and lean, probably the most agile and the slickest of the Leviathan lineage. Plus, it does not have a way to get past Uth Duna's water shield. Not even the Hunter with its dual blades is able to get past with the water barrier. It actually has to attack things like the folds of where the armor meets and then its chest, but even then that leaves you open for a swipe from Uth Duna, or it utilizes the opportunity of you being in front of it to body slam on top of you. And with the fact that Nargacuga is mainly a close-range fighter, this plays into Uth Duna's favor. Now you might say, well, what if Nargacuga gets on his back? And I'm just going to say this. What's to stop Uth Duna from jumping in the air, spinning and body slamming itself on top of Nargacuga and crushing it with that weight? Again, they're in the same tier. They're in the same ballpark. But Uth Duna has too many advantages. He has better defensive capabilities, and he has better counters to Nargacuga, both at close range and, believe it or not, at long range as well, with it being able to manipulate the water and even likely tripping up Nargacuga from missing those long range shots. And even if Nargacuga does have the more, long range capabilities, Uth Duna's shields could just block it, just using the water barrier or its water hood to block these attacks. So at the end of the day, I'm definitely going to have to say that Uth Duna takes it, and I would definitely say it takes it, mid difficulty. I do think Nargacuga would definitely be on the run after this, especially after getting body slammed, because again, you're not telling me if you manage to survive 500 plus tons or pounds coming down on top of you from another monster, you're not running. But yeah, that's me off today, you guys. Uth Duna takes it, and I could definitely see some arguments for mid, possibly high difficulty. But hey, that's me off today, you guys, and y'all have a blessed day.